Hey, this is Cassandra with another episode of Make Better Documents, where today we will have a look at this architectural windows brochure. The first thing we'll do is take a look at the entire brochure. This is a printed brochure set up with spreads. As you can see, there are amazing photos. This brochure has a lot of content, so please bear with me. We'll take a look at this document. We'll discuss 3 things that are good about it and 3 things that could be better. The first thing that I think is really good about this document is the graphics. There's a few different examples within the brochure that I want to share with you that show how good these graphics are. With this graphic, they've shown how the different glazes work. I think it's a very simple graphic to show how this is done in terms of how the glazing relates to the frame itself. As you can see, they are using a color-coded system to help understand the different climates. And here's another page where the designer has made very simple and easy to understand graphics so that we can see the difference between the different rolling mechanisms that the doors have. There's a few pages that show different fittings, different hardware that you could use with the doors. So in this case, there's some different handles, and then here's a different brand with their handles. And last but not least, here is another page that contains really great graphics that show the different configurations that the windows can have. So you can see there's the bifold windows and exactly how that they would bifold, and same for these like sliding double hung windows. You can see that with this graphic in particular, these 2 windows, they would slide up, whereas these 2 windows, they would slide down. And while not really technically a graphic, they've used color swatches here, so you can see the exact name of the particular swatch. You can compare the different colors. The second thing that's really good about this document is how they've used colored themes within the document. So if we go back to this particular page here, we'll see that they have 3 different styles, they're calling them. So they have the architectural series, the commercial series, and the commercial thermal heart series. So you'll see that they're using this blue for the architectural series, they're using this grey for the commercial series, and this green for this commercial thermal heart series. Then you'll see that they've used these colors consistently throughout the brochure anytime they're referring to the 3 different styles. You can see that here on this page where they have different product names, their product numbers, and then the color for which series they're within. Here's an example of this color theming on a spread. At the top of the page, on the left and the right, they've got the blue box, meaning that this is from the architectural series. But then down in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see here that they have this particular type of window is available also as the commercial series or the commercial thermal heart series. So as you scroll through these at a glance, you can see which products are within which series. And so once we get to the commercial thermal heart series, you can see that they've actually used a very faint green as the background. So you can see that they're applying that green here within the headings for these graphics. And then here is commercial framing, and you can see that they've got that maroony color at the top. The third thing that I think is really good about this document is their use of tables to show data. So I'll show you a couple of different tables. This table, they've got the glazing type down one side, and again, fantastic graphics to really show you the difference between the different glazing types. And then there's a lot of data here, so we know what type of glass can go inside that system, any other attributes that they think is really important to help making a purchasing decision. And then they've got a key down the bottom. Always love a key on a table. So you can see that there's the 1 box, 2 box, or 3 box, depending on if it's good, better, or best. And then they've applied those up here with a couple of different categories. In this case, it's glare reduction, solar heat performance, and insulation energy efficiency. This table is very, very easy to understand at a quick glance. Here is another really great table showing data. In this case, we're looking at hardware compatibility. So we've got each of the different brands down this left-hand column, and then under that is each of their hardware options. And then we see example, we'll just look at the very top one here. It's the Endo brand, and the product is the single point sliding door lock. And then you can just scroll across really easy and see you can use this with the 702 of the architectural series, and the data actually carries across over the spread. So that same Ando single point sliding door lock, you can see here, works with product 442 of the commercial series, 471 of the commercial series, and 642 of the commercial series. So with any of these hardware options, you can just easily scroll along to see if that hardware works with the product that you would like, or alternatively, if you know that you are buying the, say, 411 architectural series, you can go down that column and see which of the hardware options is available to you. You can see here within the heading of this particular table, they've used those colors again. Here's another table displaying some really good data. So over on the left-hand page of this spread, explaining to you what each of these different categories are. So if it's bushfire rated, if it's cyclone tested, if it's soundproof, etc. And then in the table itself, with all the data, it shows you what each of the different products are and where they sit in relation to having those features. And you can see the dot means that if it's got that feature or not. So we can scroll down and see in this column, Cyclone is the series 463 architectural double hung window. And then they've made those same tables for each of the different series. Now let's take a look at some things that could be better. The first one I want to point out is actually on the cover page. So the line here between the photo and the black, while it's not a problem to have this design-wise, it just seems a little bit clunky because of the way that that little bit of that black shows through underneath the crossbar here of the E. I think it would have been better if the whole photo was brought up just a tiny bit so you didn't see that black. The next thing that I think would be better is having images that go across the spreads. So this document is a little bit of a surprising one because many instances the image is going across the spread. So this very first spread, the picture goes across. And as we scroll through, you'll see that many of the photos do actually go across the spread. So I know that they have incredibly high quality photos and they do want to have these images go across the spread. But then on some of these pages like this one here, where it's two separate images, it looks really strange, and they could have made this a little bit better just by putting a little bit of white between them. Here's another example where the image just, it gets lost. Here's another one where they've used two separate images on the spread. And another one. And another one. I understand that they are wanting to have a range of photos to show you each of their products, and this is great, but I do believe that it would have been better having more of these full page, these full across the spread images, because they look amazing and they really sell the product. I would have essentially framed it so then that white edge that goes around three edges goes along all four edges. And the third thing that I think could have been better with this document is regarding contrast. So for this commercial series, the white on grey is just not enough contrast. It's incredibly hard to even see the grey box down here in the bottom left-hand corner. And it's so hard to see that box, it's even harder to see that there's text on that box. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Making the world a more beautiful place, one document at a time.